Hey you! Question of the century. Which beard product is best for styling beards? In the first corner, we have the classic blow dryer, and in the opposing corner, we have the famous underdog, the ceramic heat brush. And today, my brothers, we're going to be pinning them together in the ring, comparing their specs. Which one creates the best beard appearance? So, without further ado, let us engage angry mustache mode and a little bit of a manual zoom action. So in this beard product battle, we're going to be comparing these two products in 5 different categories. And lads, I do recommend that you stay until the end of the video because the conclusion I make at the end of this video, I think will surprise you. So stay tuned for that. So the first area of effectiveness is straightening and problem area management, my lads. And this is probably the most important category for a lot of people, right? When we're styling our beards, essentially what we're doing a lot of the time is we're trying to get rid of problem areas, right? These are indents in our beards. These are things that actually take away from our beards. We're not talking about, natural waves. I got a lot of nice natural waves, inside of my beard that I could get rid of if I, styled forever. But I keep them. But I do make sure that the styling products I'm using are removing problem areas. And I have a lot of them, guys. Like I have an indent right here when I don't style my beard properly. I have a lot of curliness. Well, you're seeing a little bit of a protruding hair here, but I'm doing a year, so there's not much I could do about that. And then I have a lot of problem areas, guys. And in my experience, blow dryers, I've tried all of them, guys. I've tried a lot of different blow dryers. I've tried all of the techniques, using roller brushes, using, nylon brushes, board bristle brushes. I've tried it all, guys, right? And in general, the heat brush gets my vote. I used, blow dryers for a very, very long time, and I was astounded when all of that experience that I had with blow dryers was completely blown out of the water on my first try with a heat brush. So problem areas were just, taken care of to a much higher degree, and the level of straightness much, much better with the heat brush. So that gets my vote. So the second subcategory of effectiveness is flyaways. It's very, very important to me that flyaways are tamed with, the product I am using. If you don't know what flyaways are, they're the hairs that tend to shoot off. They're hairs that don't want to be a part of your beard. They are hairs of chaos. They really, really suck. I guess these could be considered flyaways, but those are just annoying because I'm in an awkward stage of growth right now. But there is a commonality when I have experimented with only styling my beard with a blow dryer and only styling my beard, with a heat brush, right? I pick 2 days together, I take a picture, I'll pull the pictures up here, and as you can see, with the heat brush, the flyaways are, styled to a much higher degree of uniformity every single time. This is a commonality, and it's just kind of gotten to the point where I can't really give this point to the blow dryer, so the point goes to the heat brush. And in the third subcategory, we see a little bit of revenge going on here, because the third subcategory is longevity of hold. And to this one, I have to give it to the blow dryer because the blow dryer's ability to cold blast really cements hairs in place, and I have to admit, hey, it's in my personal experience, it tends to keep the style that you want for a longer period of time. And a lot of people I know use a heat brush, and then they take their blow dryer and then they cold blast it to keep everything in place, and that's a good strategy. So hey, think about it that way. So, but unfortunately for the blow dryer, that's two losses in that subcategory and only 1 win. So that this effectiveness category goes to our underdog, the heat brush. Alright, second category is elapsed time to style. And this one's kind of interesting because I think it's, well, you're gonna get a lot of different answers from people, but I personally think it really comes down to your beard length, your beard style, and things like that. If your beard is under 2 inches, or like even, yeah, like just under 3 inches, I think that using the blow dryer is going to be faster. It really, really is. I don't know if it's going to be better, but it's definitely going to be faster. You're going to save time in the morning using a blow dryer. In fact, in a lot of those cases, using a heat brush is probably going to be redundant, especially if your beard is under 2 inches. However, for my current beard length, which is getting very, very close to 4 inches, if I were to only, use only one of them, heat brush would absolutely, absolutely be faster, right? I can't say, anything past, because I've never used the heat brush on a beard that is longer than this, right? So I can't say, which one would actually be better for, a 6-inch beard or a 7-inch beard or an 8-inch beard. However, from what I have seen, the heat brush is better for, styling longer beards. It's faster, rather. That's what a lot of people say. However, so I can, I'm going to stay completely non-partisan. I'm going to give this category a tie, all right? So good job, blow dryer. We'll move on to the next one. All right, so for the third category, I'm going to put the angry mustache on because it seems appropriate. I don't know, you guys. So the third category is effect on hair. How much damage do these products do to the hair? Right? We actually do have some evidence that actually blow drying your beard might actually be better for your beard than allowing it to air dry. It's some really, really interesting research. I'll link it down below. But I think it's pretty fair to assume that that ironing out your beard with a a heat brush is going to damage your beard. It is, it's probably a lot more damaging than the blow dryer, and that's why personally I use a very, very low heat. If you're going to use a high heat with a heat brush, then be sure to get some argan oil. Argan oil has a very high smoke point, so it's probably the best oil that's going to protect your beard when it comes to using high heats on the heat brush. Personally, these days, I used to use about 180 degrees Celsius on my heat brush. These days, I'm using anywhere between 130 to 140 degrees Celsius, and I allow it to heat up to a true 130 to 140 degrees Celsius while I brush my teeth and I style my hair. And that seems to work quite well, actually, because it gets because a true 130 140 you'd be surprised, like it's actually quite hot, and it does the job for me personally. But in this category, I gotta give it to the blow dryer, guys. Definitely the heat brush does more damage to the beard. Alright, we are at a tie going into the fourth category here, which is practicality. How practical are these products to use? Especially, carrying them around, going to other people's houses, and also, how much disturbance is it causing to the people around you? And right away you say, okay, yeah, blow dryers are pretty disturbing. Like, I've always kind of approached it with a little bit of caution, using a blow dryer while everyone's asleep. I always kind of felt bad about that. So, I have to give this point to the heat brush because, it's just so easy to carry around. There's even really, really small heat brushes. They seem to work really, really well from what I've heard. I've tried the little blow dryers that you can, little travel blow dryers. I don't like them. The spread isn't wide enough, and they're not powerful enough, in my opinion. It just doesn't do the job for me. But I've heard the small little heat brushes are very good, and they're pretty much just as good as the big ones. So practicality, point, heat brush. Alright, so this last category is going to make or break that victory. Who will come on top? And that is price points, right? So when comparing the two products, you can usually get a pretty good blow dryer for about $30, and you can get usually a pretty good heat brush for the exact same price. However, there are a few variables we have to consider here, right? Pretty much like every single heat brush is around $30, anywhere between 30 to $50. However, the blow dryers you find in this range, you know, there are a lot of them, but unfortunately, you don't get the extra features until you get into like the $80, $90 range, right? So, you know, you might get a speed setting and you might get a cold blast button, right? But you don't get a warm button. You know, you don't get a hot button, you don't get a very hot button. So there's a lot of features that you're missing out on when you buy a less expensive blow dryer, and it's unfortunate, guys. I really wanted to you know, make this interesting, but I'm gonna have to give it to the heat brush, lads. So the winner of this bout, lads, is the one and only underdog, the heat brush. Heat brush. You get it? I'm holding up the hand like in boxing. Anyway, so my conclusion to all of this: yes, I think the heat brush is better. But if you watched my video how I remove curls out of my beard, right? I'm gonna link that up here. Watch that video. Watch how I style my beard, because I don't use one or the other. I use both. Because even though using this on its own is better than using the blow dryer on its own, using them both in conjunction is better than just using one or the other. It absolutely, the best beard stylings I have ever gotten is when I go in first with the blow dryer. I get everything in every single possible direction. That kind of straightens out the entirety of the beard. Also adds a little bit of volume, and then to get in and get the rest of the problem areas and add a little bit of extra straightness, I go in with the heat brush, and it creates just this beard appearance that it is like no other, guys. So if you guys want to get the best beard appearance, like I shit you not, guys, use them both, right? I'm gonna put down in the description, a very popular blow dryer that a lot of people buy. I don't think this one is on Amazon. And then also another popular heat brush that a lot of people buy. It has a bunch of letters. I don't know what it's called. You can't really pronounce it, but I'll leave that one in the description as well. You buy those two together and use that video that I made, how I remove curls from my beard, and you will get the best beard shape of your life. I swear to God, guys, that is exactly what will happen. So, lads, thank you so much for joining me. If you guys like the extra little effort I put into this video, then please smash your axe upon that like button, and please press subscribe. And lads, bearded warriors of Earth, have a wonderful night.